Hey, what's up, horror fans? It's your host, Josh James, R-Rated Horror Commentary Podcast, coming at you on a lonely Halloween night. Woo! Yeah, that's right, motherfuckers. It's a lonely Halloween night, and I started thinking to myself, it's been a long time since I've seen a really sleazy, schlocky film. And so I started rooting around the internet looking for a good movie. And I remember this movie being one of the quintessential schlocky, sleazy, big-titted, booby, just terrible, terrible movies that actually was really good and enjoyable and fun at the same time. This is probably like my first sleazy, schlocky film. Because up until the point where I'd seen this, it was all about the Jason, the Freddy, the Michael, all that good stuff. And I never really looked into horror films on the fringe. And then I found this movie, and this is like my entry into the sleazy, schlocky stuff. So, what we're talking about tonight is Sorority House Massacre 2 from 1990, which is by all means a fucking 80s movie. Now, it could have very well been shot in the early part of 1990, and we wouldn't know the difference. But I'm just saying in terms of its quality, style, ambiance, it's definitely an 80s movie for sure. So it gains a lot of credit for that. It was directed by Jim Warnowski, who you might know from The Chopping Mall, which is like one of my favorite shitty horror films. And that was probably the pinnacle of his directing career, except for maybe this movie right after it. And everything he did after this movie was pretty much garbage. I mean, he's still working today, but it's all softcore porn and basically very, very far out fringe stuff, which is fine. Not judging. I'm just saying that this was an entry into his catalog that was actually halfway decent. Now, this movie is I think, definitely an unofficial sequel to the Slumber Party Massacre franchise. 3 movies there. This franchise has 3 as well. I think maybe even 4. But this movie is supposed to pick up somewhere after the first Slumber Party Massacre movie, but they're not directly related. So basically, the writers, there was 3 of them, and the director tried to ape on the the massacre, the negligee slasher flicks, the sexy bimbos in the house being stalked by a killer. This killer doesn't have any real true identity for sure. He's not a recurring. He's not a menace like, say, Jason or Michael is. He's just kind of like a disturbed human being that comes in and tries to wreck their slumber party. So, that being said, let's get into the movie. I have it queued up at New Horizons home video production screen about 6 or 7 seconds in, and we'll count it down real quick with a 3, 2, 1, and play. Sorority House Massacre 2. Great opening title. Great opening music as well. I wish I could say that the music in the rest of the movie is as good as the opening title, but it's all kind of like a shadow of the opening music and stuff. And it's always, to me, it's always sounded like kind of a little bit of a Danny Elfman kind of vibe in there, whatever. It's very, characteristic of the times and stuff, but I like it. It lends itself to a bad slasher very, very well. This whole fucking movie was written and shot in 7 days. Can you fucking believe it? I mean, this movie really was rushed, but that's indicative of a lot of these cheap slashers back then, and you kind of have to. You can't compare it to, say, like a a Paramount Friday movie or a New Line Cinema, you know, Nightmare on Elm Street, early days, whatever. I mean, they were playing catch up here, you know, and they were just got a minimal budget and trying to do something at least worthy of the genre. And the first movie is so boring. So boring. And usually the first one is like the one with the most, you know, talent behind it, the most originality. I would say that this one actually is way better in terms of just like knowing what it is and delivering, you know. Wynorski knew what he was doing in his early days. And I'll give him some credit, so. Exploitative slasher flicks at its best. Yeah, Wynorski actually directed a bunch of softcore parodies later on in his career. I'll give you some names here. House on Hooter Hill. The Witches of Brestwick. The Bear Winch Project. The Hills Have Thighs and Cleavage Field. Oh yeah, that's some good shit right there. So the director decided to cut in a scene from later in the movie to the beginning of the movie, I guess to set the tone as creepy, because I'm sure he didn't really, when he was watching this movie, as an early cut, probably realized this really boring in the beginning of the movie. It is like, we need to set the tone as a scary movie and just cut that in. And it does nothing. It just gives a feeling of foreboding, you know? But yeah, here's our 4 bimbos. Or 5, I guess. 5 bimbos. And I swear to God, I cannot keep their names straight to save my life. I've seen this movie like 10 times, and I cannot keep their names straight because they have no personalities. They're not people, like, with personalities. They just are chicks of varying, you know, height and weight and hair color, but they're not real people. They don't have any personality, so I don't remember any of their names at all. I keep trying to memorize it, and I made a concerted effort to memorize it for this commentary, and it hasn't stuck, so... Is there any universe in the world, in the known fucking galaxy, where a fucking hot 80s babe would be making out with a George Costanza fucking cardboard cutout like this fucking guy? I mean, her friends would be sitting over there going, ew. Not going, laughing like, oh my God, really? This fucking chud. There's no way, dude. There's no fucking way. So that pretty much gives you the flavor of the movie. It's just stupid and dumb and, you know, it's just, it's a playful slasher movie and that's all it's going to be. I mean, you can't take it seriously at all. Goes without saying, right? Oh my God, this place is going to take a little work. I like how the set production team tries to make it look dirty by taking black spray paint and spraying it on the walls. It's like, black spray paint does not make, you know, a set look dirty. It makes it look like it's been spray painted by black spray paint. I mean, you could get away with it maybe with yellow, dark yellow, ochre, maybe some brown in there, but black is not dirty. It's just the cheapest way to show dirt. It's like when you're painting a painting of somebody's face and you want to show a shadow on the side of their nose, and you use black to make it show a shadow because that's what your brain thinks intuitively. Shadows are dark, shadows are black, but they're not. They're just shades of a color. So you would use, like, you know, peach mixed with a little bit of green or blue or something, and that would make it look realistic. It's the same thing with that shit. It's like black spray paint does not make something look dirty. I like the askew portrait of Rasputin on the wall over there. Guess that's maybe a subtle hint. So yeah, that's our first clue that they're talking about Slumber Party Massacre franchise. It's the old Hochstetter place. But this looks nothing like the old Hochstetter place at all. And it's really funny because later on, they actually call a guy, I think they infer at least that the guy is the old, Mr. Hochstetter or whatever. And it's not. It's the driller killer from Slumber Party Massacre, the first movie, because they actually edited in clips from the first movie. Some of the highlight scenes of, Slumber Party Massacre, the first movie, they edit them in to do a flashback in this movie where they kind of refer to him as old Hochstetter, but he's not Hochstetter. He's the driller killer, which is Russ Thorne. And I don't think the directors or the writers of this movie knew that at all. Look at this chick, so tall and she's so short. She looks like a midget. And she's got these shoulder pads on. Looks like she's ready for the what do you call it? The lingerie NFL, whatever that team is in LA. I'm so glad shoulder pads went out of fucking popularity, man, because shoulder pads were the worst. There's our first shot of stock footage lightning, which you'll probably see about 20 times in this movie. To, I guess, in the director's mind, keep the ambience going or something. Or to cut away from a scene he didn't know how to splice in to a new scene. Like, it's his crutch to transition into other scenes. And it's painfully obvious. But when watching a movie like this, I guess it could be forgivable because it's a shitty movie. So it kind of adds to the ambience, right? So here's our fucking red herring, right? This fucking cuntbag, this fucking scumbag here. He looks like Spinelli from fucking Maniac or something, like pasty, pock-marked face motherfucker waltzes in. I mean, he's obviously supposed to be the killer, right? But we know he's not because it's like handed right to us in our face, I mean, man, who would walk into a room full of young women like this and just start, getting into exposition? I mean, wouldn't you try to break the knock or maybe break the ice a little bit first? Or they're not very subtle with their red herrings in this movie at all. So here's our Slumber Party Massacre 1 flashback. I do like the playful music here, though. And I will say, Slumber Party Massacre 1 is a good movie. I do like that movie a lot. It's my favorite in the franchise. It has the most integrity. The second one is more fun in terms of crazy shit, but I'm talking about in terms of a good movie. The first one is the best. And, even though you get to see the killer's face, Russ Thorne's face in that movie, he is kind of a faceless killer in a way because he doesn't really have any personality. He's just a psychopath. He's a sociopath, psychopathic killer with a drill. He doesn't really say a whole lot. He's just a man on a fucking mission. He just wants to fucking slaughter these chicks, which makes total sense because that's what these movies are about, He's just a bland guy. So it's kind of fucked up that they usurped the Russ Thorne character for this movie, but it's forgivable because it's a cheap slasher and they were on a budget and they probably didn't have to worry about copyrights or whatever too much. Maybe both production houses were in cahoots to, let's just milk these franchises for as much money as we can make. you know? And it's not like these are entitled high-grossing franchises here, so I'm sure there wasn't a lot of like legal tape in terms of getting those scenes added to the movie. And it adds a kill count to your movie without actually having to shoot anything. Because he's just doing a montage of the best kills of Slumber Party Massacre, the first one. So, classic shot there. That's a classic fucking shot. Great fucking shot. You won't see a shot that good in this movie, I guarantee you. Not to ruin it for you, but, you know. I think, actually, Russ Thorne's going to be, or not Russ Thorne, the actor that plays Russ Thorne is going to be at the Chiller Fest this Saturday. I'm going to go pick his brain at his table a little bit. Maybe get a signed photo or something. So this guy, he's basically just a concerned neighbor, but he's trying to come, I don't know, he's unhinged, obviously, but the movie's trying to make you think that he's a killer, he's a stalker, he's wearing plaid, he's big, he's bulky, he's bizarre, he's not quite straightforward in his thinking, and... See, I can never memorize that lineup, man. I just can't. I like a guy who keeps his keys in his fucking crotch, man. I need to start doing that too. You know, it'll give me a good excuse when I'm standing in front of 5 hot women to just reach into my pants, you know. Because women love that. They love that, you know. They don't really seem too alarmed by that at all. You're like, oh, he's a fucking creepy dude, whatever. Yeah, this movie it's very surface. It doesn't have a lot of depth to it at all. It's... Oh, people will think, you know, a big, bulky, ugly guy is scary. Let's just play that up. You know? They don't assume, like the director and the writer here aren't assuming that people are going to think really at all. They're probably thinking that you're going to be sitting in your car with your girlfriend at a drive-in movie, and probably getting your balls fondled, eating some popcorn or a hot dog, and maybe drinking a little bit of booze, not really paying attention to the movie, you know, it's through the windshield, you're just kind of, you know, sucking your girlfriend's lips or something, you know, I mean, and I can get that, I can appreciate that, believe me, I've been there, I love that shit. I saw Blood of Bordello at the movie theater, I saw Blood of Bordello and Faces of Death with my first real girlfriend when I was 18, and we drove up to the drive-in in Kansas, and believe me, we weren't watching the movie the whole time. We were drinking, smoking pot, I'm pretty sure I got a blowjob. It was amazing, and, you know, probably part of the reason why I fucking love horror movies, because it reminds me of those fucking awesome, awesome times of just innocence, lust, good vibes, you know, just partaking in life, you know. What is this guy fucking eating, man? It's fucking disgusting. It's like raw meat, like sauteed in like Cajun sauce or something. Ugh, it makes me want to fucking barf, man. Slasher strikes in Hollywood. What is that behind him? Is that like part of the set? Part of the set piece? They're just trying so hard to make you believe this guy is the killer, and he's just not. I mean, why would they hand you the killer like right in the beginning of the movie? Yeah, and he's got all these brand new fucking newspapers just hanging out in his drawer, you know? Like, this is a guy who buys the newspaper every day, you know? They're all brand new. All brand new. Nice little joke. Elvis lives. Nice. More stock footage. of the thunderstorm outside, of course. Looks like stock footage from a 60s movie or something. Look at those old fucking flashlights, man. This is 1990, mind you. That's a fucking flashlight from like 1942, you know? But if it's old, it's creepy. Ooh. I mean, I would say that this set piece, this house scene, is pretty good. Probably shot in a real house, I'm guessing. So they foreshadow the murder weapons there on the wall. There's like 5 like ice picks or ice hooks, you know, from back in the 40s when they used to like, you know, you have to buy a big block of ice and put it in your basement somewhere and put it in a box and put all your food in there, and that was like a makeshift refrigerator back in the day. Well, yeah, that's what they have hanging on the wall there. So this house must be like really fucking old, right? Which is believable. I mean, it's possible, but pretty obvious they're foreshadowing the murder weapon there. Hey guys, check this out. It's the Annabelle doll. Oh my god, it looks like blood. Oh my god. Somebody used this doll as their maxi pad. Holy shit. Oh my god. I've never seen a Ouija board glued to another giant board in my whole life. Like, why did they do that in this movie? It doesn't make any sense at all why they would glue a Ouija board to a giant board, like a whole foot of like space all the way around it. Like, why would they do that? Ouija boards are just Ouija boards. Maybe they felt like it wasn't significant enough in the shot or something? Like the chainsaw in the background? Yeah, right. Ooh. Yeah, this looks like bad TV here. It's like something out of like Tales from the Crypt. So, these are the 2 investigating cops. I like to call them naggy and hard-boiled because she's naggy as fuck and he's hard-boiled as fuck, and they're boring as fuck. Cliche as fuck. She nags non-stop. She's like the most unprofessional cop / detective ever, and he's like the most hard-boiled, boring cop ever. And it's like super cliche and boring. But they're probably the closest thing to characters in this movie that you're going to get. Why is it raining? Are we watching fucking some noir from 1942 or something? Well, I guess it was lightning earlier. But it wasn't raining at the house, so.
Sorry, Dad, before my time. Well, I was. Don't call me Dad. I'll tell you, it was a real butcher job.
That chick is probably the worst actress ever, man. You can almost see her, like, rehearsing the lines in her head. You know? Like, when he says his lines, you can almost see her, like, counting down the lines in her head. It's just fucking terrible, man. The toothpick in his mouth has more charisma than she does, man. But he's not much better, honestly. No, they're not getting paid. I'm sure they're only getting paid like $50 to do this fucking movie, so at least they tried a little bit, you know. I always, you know, it's weird because every time I watch this movie, you know, I look at this hard-boiled cop here. I always thinking about the bass player from Stone Temple Pilots. You know, I mean, like, seriously, Google a picture of that fucking guy, and he looks just like this guy. I can't help it. I always think about that. The bass player from Stone Temple Pilots every fucking time. And from this point on, probably for the next third of the movie, it's pretty much a titty fest. So the director shows his true colors here when he just goes into a straight up kind of a lesy, titillating, nudist fucking type of movie. You know, just boobs, sexual innuendo, and nipples, and all kinds of good stuff. I mean, which is fine. I'm not judging. I'm just saying that's what he does. You know, that's his thing, and it's stupid. I mean, I like a little bit of that in my horror movies, but it's overblown a little bit in this movie. It's really, really obvious that he's trying to just, you know, exploit it's an exploitation movie. He's actually working on a movie recently called, give me a second, I'm looking for it. Bikini Car Wash Massacre. So, yeah, the guy does what he does, you know. The Summer Party Massacre movie, written by Amy Holden Jones, was pretty fucking good, considering that she did the best she could with a Canon budget, you know. This is just, you know, an exploitation movie, which is fine, but, I mean, don't get me wrong, I like some boobs here and there, but I don't like it to be all about the boobs all the time, you know. I mean, girls just don't go standing around like flashing each other going, do I look like the killer? And flashing her tits and jiggling them around and all that shit, you know. I mean, that's kind of silly. You know, it's like, it crosses a line to the point where you just kind of you get annoyed because it's like, can a director do anything else? Does he have any tricks up his sleeve? You know, he's just constantly revealing tits. It's like, if I was a director, this is what I imagine he'd say. You know, if I was like a grip on the set and I was just, you know, standing by, I'm sure the director would say something like, all right, now, your panties are down, okay? Your panties are down around your knees. Now, when the shot starts, you pull your panties up and you walk over to the left. I mean, that's pretty much the extent of his directorial talents, you know what I mean? Like, alright, now in this scene, you're gonna basically pull your bra down over your nipples. You know? I mean, smoothly over your nipples, okay? We want the audience to see your nipples. Because your nipples are really important, because nipples are really important, and I'm thinking about your nipples, and nipples are really important here, so make sure that make sure that the shower water comes over your nipples. I gotta see the reflection of the light off your nipples, okay? Now, when you're bending over and you're pulling your panties down, okay, like, are you starting to get the point I'm trying to make here? Is the guy's a fucking pervert. And he's constantly having these chicks fucking pull their panties down or take their bra off or whatever. And that's fine. A little bit in the movie. I mean, you expect it a little bit in a slasher movie. But it gets a little boring. It happens over and over and over and over again. And it's just this guy basically masturbating on, you know, as a director. It's Sorority House Massacre 2. It is what it is. I get it. It's not fucking Thelma and Louise. I'm just saying. Even for me, it's just kind of like, dude, you know, were you like in the throes of alcoholism here? Like, were you thinking at all about the story? I mean, if you had just slowed down and like thought about the story a little bit more than the titties and the vagina, then you probably would have come out with a better movie. All that being said, I'm still defending it as the best in the trio. See, I like these scenes with them in the lingerie more than I actually like them naked, you know? Because it's more sensual, it's more vulnerable or something in a way. It's more fun. You know? I don't need titties in my face all the fucking time. I know what boobs look like, okay? I know what they look like. I like the tease better than I like the just a blatant, you know, exploitation of women's bodies. But, you know, here we got 5 80s bimbos sitting around a fire with some fucking tequila or whatever, and they're just going to get loaded and murdered. Let's just call it what it is, but, you know, they're fun movies. They might be a little dated. They might get some hate, but I think there's some innocence. See, that might be part of my problem, is that when they start getting into nudity, oh, butts, asses, tits, all that shit, it's like it just stops being innocent fun and it starts becoming like a porno. I don't want to watch a porno. I want to watch a little bit of tease, a little bit of sleaze, a little bit of gore, a little bit of fun, a little bit of horror, a little bit, you know, like those elements all mixed together make a good movie. I think that one little act there, he just went a little bit too overboard. He's just like, boom, tits, boom, panties coming down. It's like, come on, man. You know, it just became a little, obviously, that he just became obsessed with that. And obviously, like, if you look at his fucking filmography, that's what he's obsessed with, is like tits and ass, constantly. I would much rather look at girls sitting around in, you know, skimpy outfits, playing with a Ouija board, than constant nudity, you know. That's just good, clean fun. When you start getting into rape scenes and, you know, just sheer exploitation. I think I mentioned maybe in another commentary sometime, like there's a movie called Death Court Service. And I was like, ooh, Death Court Service sounds cool. Like that's like classic exploitation movies or whatever, you know? Like they're trying to bring the genre back, and I watched it and it was gross. It was fucking gross. It was not entertaining. It was not cool at all. It was just like a bunch of porn stars got recruited to be in a movie, quote unquote, and it was just like them being raped and defiled and being treated like garbage, and just there was no entertainment value to that. It was like a sick person made a movie and it just sucked. You know what I mean? There's certain movies that are gross that are fun. Like if you look at like what do you call it? The human centipede. The human caterpillar. I really haven't thought about that movie in a long time. The human centipede, right? The first one is fun because it's a funny scenario for a movie, and there's some jovial moments in it. I mean, it's truly terrifying the first time you watch it. The idea of it. You're like, oh my gosh, is this really gonna happen? And that sense of like tense foreboding, worry, oh my god, I want to see it but I don't want to see it kind of thing gonna happen, makes it fun. And that was interesting. The second one was just exploitative, gruesome, brutal, nasty, unfun fucking movie, man. And, you know, you can't cross that line. Good horror films have a mixture of all kinds of emotions in them, and they can bring that sense of like foreboding to the top and make you fucking excited to see what will happen next, you know? And these movies like the Sorority House Massacre and Something Pretty Mad, they're just an exploitation of all those elements put together in a cheap way, done very quickly. And so I can appreciate that. I can get lost in that, you know. I love to watch these movies and think about what the crew, the movie director and the movie crew had to do to pull this movie off, and these, you know, actresses just coming out and just trying to make it work, and when it works, And he knew all that backstory that they just basically did off by the seat of their pants, and it came out like something entertaining. It's like, oh, it's an amazing thing. And I get off on that. I like that because it's fun. It's entertaining to me. You know, it's like, I think the people that truly love these types of movies are the horror fans, of course, but the amateur filmmakers, the amateur artists in us all, the ones who see the world in a different way. And we love them not because they're exploitative necessarily, but because they're done cheaply and have to be clever to be provocative in a way that people will see them. And so we like to see the psychology behind them. And they're fun, you know? So when they start to cross a line, I get a little bit, like, offended. Because it's a cheap sell. It's a cheap sell in the way that you're trying to trick me into liking something, or they think that they're doing something that's good, and it's not. It's just being violent and cruel and ugly. And that's not entertainment to me. So when people start to question me, oh, why do you like, you know, these sleazy horror movies? It's not because it's, you know, cheap and ugly and degrading. It's because it's clever, inventive, smart in some ways, you know? It's like, and campy, and tongue-in-cheek, and people having fun, and people expressing themselves in a way with some freedom and having a good time making a movie and just being young and adventurous and capturing an idea of the time, you know? Like, it's beautiful to see girls walking around lingerie drinking tequila and, you know, there's a killer on the loose. It taps into, like, these basic ideas in your brain, you know, like in your essence of a human being, you know, and it's fun. You know, it's just nothing really bad's going to happen. It's just tongue-in-cheek fun. So that's why I like these movies, man, because they're a big joke. It's a big, like, middle finger to mainstream cinema, you know what I mean? It's just like, you know what, we're going to make this stupid fucking movie, and it'll be funny and entertaining and thrilling and, you know, titillizing and arousing and all these things, and we'll do it in a cheap way and get it done, and, you know, we can show you that there's human creativity with a minimal budget, you know what I mean? And I like that. I like that because I'm a person without a lot of resources, and I think a lot of artists are people without resources. That's why some of the best horror movies are people done without resources, like Halloween, $300,000 budget, changed the face of horror. And there's not a lot of gore, there's not a lot of special effects, it's all psychological. And they're like, you know what, we're going to turn this shit on its head. You know? It could have just been another shitty fucking horror movie, but the stars aligned and they made something great, you know? And so these movies are like a shadow of that in a way, where there's a certain purity and honesty to the, I don't know, like the shoddiness of it all, the flim-flammy cheesiness, the low budget of it all. It's honest, at least it's honest, you know? I mean, the good ones, the good, cheap, B-minus horror movies, the slasher horror movies like Slumber Party Massacre and stuff like this, you know, they kind of come from an honest place, and you could see there was a legitimate effort made to express yourself in some way, and it's fun. Now, you have to understand what that expression is. I mean, not everybody gets this as an art form. They don't. But I do. I mean, I see it as an art form, as I really enjoy it as an art form. Because I understand the psychological elements behind trying to do something with little, you know? And have fun with it, and please people, and give them a good time. And there's a good way to do it and a bad way to do it, you know? And this is like probably one of the ones, it's probably like on the, let's say if I rank out of 5, it would be a 3, you know, in terms of cheap horror, you know? So, you know, that's the best I can explain it. You know, and I'm not gonna lie, it's nice to look at beautiful girls in lingerie. So that's a win-win every time. So what are these girls' names again? Anybody? I need to like print out like an FBI profile on these chicks and like tack them up on a corkboard on my wall and like just study them for like a month and then do this commentary again later on or something.
Linda, you and I check downstairs. You guys look around up here, all right?
I don't know. I actually like this movie because it's simple and it's fun, gets to the point. You know? The third one, not so much. The first one is so boring. Slumber Party Massacre 2 is fun, but it gets too wild and the ending is terrible. Terrible. Slumber Party Massacre 3, passable barely. Just like they tried to channel too much Freddy Krueger into it or something, you know? Like, you know, the studios are like, oh, that Freddy character, he's really drawing in the bucks right now. Can you put a little bit of Freddy into it? And they kind of ruined it, you know? Like, so, I don't know. There's a simplicity to this movie that's fun and kind of dumb. And I just wish that the girls had more of an interesting interaction with each other because they basically seem like they just got dropped off on the set on the same day and had never met each other before. So they have zero chemistry together. They have no chemistry together at all. So, yeah, that's a buzzkill, you know. I mean, at least the girls in some of the other movies, like Summer Party Massacre 1, have a vibe of they've known each other since high school or did at least some trying to get to know each other before they actually filmed the movie. So, oh, more stock footage. Nice.
Susie, she's not in here. Hey, check this out. Looks like it must be the attic. She wouldn't have gone up there. Who knows?
I don't know. I mean, if you're hanging out with your lady and she likes horror and you like horror, this is a sexy movie to get into the mood to watch, you know? I wish I could have gone to see these movies in like a fucking like a Mustang, a classic Mustang. Gone to it, had my girl on my arm, drove up to a fucking drive-in movie, paid like $2 for 2 tickets, gotten some popcorn and a hot dog, maybe snuck in a bottle of Jim Beam and a couple Coca-Colas, gotten loosened up, eaten some popcorn, made out, gotten a blowjob, you know, just had a good time. Just watching this fucking shitty movie. I mean, that's Americana to me. That's good shit. I'm sure there's some fucking old guys out there listening to this and be like, yep, been there, done that, you know? Those were the fucking good old days. And simple pleasures in life, you know what I'm saying? Just being with somebody that you enjoy being with and enjoying a shitty movie together. And not having to think too hard. And not having to worry. I mean, look at that, bra and panties. I mean, they're so old school, but they're so sexy, you know? Oh, this is some stellar acting here, man. This is the worst I'm in pain acting ever. She's doesn't make it into the Scream Queen. Like, she's just not. Nah, she didn't give it her all there. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was not a scream of agonizing pain. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't even a scream of like getting your pinky caught in the door. I think she needs more tassels. More tassels. She looks like she's ready to make out with like Patrick Swayze or something. That's some seriously 80s shit. Yeah, I like all the stereotypes and the strip bar here. If I was a chick, I'd be going right after those Saudi guys, man. Those Saudi guys, they have like billions, you know? So here's the Stone Temple Pilots bass player, the detective showing up to interrogate the stripper for some info. I guess trying to get some info on the Hochstetter place or something. Don't ask me. Very loose story here. So this is where this chick, this red-haired chick's whining and nagging comes into place. Hardcore. I mean, is she a partner or is she a fucking annoying asshole? It's like, look, she's his partner. She's supposed to be a professional, right? Can she act like a professional for 5 minutes? It's like she's offended, right? It's like she's his girlfriend. She's like, why'd you bring me here? Why'd you bring me to a strip club? Oh my god. Like, blah, 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 blah. It's like, can you just thicken your skin up a little bit for a minute and like think about, I love that guy's face so much. That's so funny. Anyway, so why would you fucking, can't you fucking focus on the job at hand? Instead of being so fucking negative and whiny and accusatory. I mean, really, come on. You're in a titty bar. Grow the fuck up. Who gives a shit? But she seems to be so, like, naggy about it. You know? It's like, why don't you back up your partner there and get focused on the task at hand, which is interrogating the girl, instead of, like, shitting on your partner, trying to make him feel guilty for him bringing you to a bar to interview a suspect that's part of your case. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. I guess she tries to be a good sport for like a minute. I know. I think that paints girls in a bad light because most girls would be way cooler than that. Unless they're like fucking Mormons or something. Especially if they're in like law enforcement. A girl who is like a cop would be like, yeah, we're going into a strip club, we're going to do this job. She wouldn't be sitting there fucking whining the whole time about it. You know what happens in a strip club, okay? Jeez, fucking lighten up. It's not like they're even doing anything that bad. She's just dancing in her fucking bikini, you know? I really feel like this whole segment stuff is like pretty much worthless. Like, why do they even bother to bring the cops into this shit and lend any heavy weights to this movie at all? Because it just takes you out of the movie. They don't do anything. They don't accomplish anything at all. It's like their feeble attempt to make this feel like a real movie in some desperate way. You know? Are you positive? Oh my god! The worst acting ever! Holy shit.
Coming along, I guess. I try and visit her whenever I can. Well, Mike, I guess that shoots a hole in your accomplice theory.
Yeah, that chick might as well have been a hooker off the street or something because she has no acting chops at all. Maybe she was like a fucking waitress at the cocktail bar where the fucking director used to go to all the time. And he felt bad for her because she always wanted to be an actress. He's like, I got a small part for you. There's no way you can fuck it up, possibly. And then she fucked it up in every way possible by being just the most unnatural actress. And she's just fucking terrible.
I just might do that. Mike. Nice meeting you. Love your outfit. Thanks.
Your denim jacket can't even save you. Come on. I mean, he's not much better. I'll give you that. I mean, he fucking sucks too. Believe me. He sucks. Oh my god, look at my pink lingerie.
Together right now. Let him nip bonds off with us. I don't know. Are you sure you looked everywhere? Sure, I'm sure. Well, even in the basement.
Why did they even bother to give this chick's name? They should have been like Blonde Bimbo number 1, Blonde Bimbo number 2,
Well, don't you think we ought to go down there and check
Brunette Bimbo number 3.
There's no way Janie would have gone down there.
That chick, oh my god, I swear to god, she keeps slipping in and out of accents the whole fucking movie. The whole fucking movie. Sometimes it's like Australian, sometimes it's like almost English or something. I cannot figure out where that chick is from because she cannot do an English accent. Look at that hula hoop on the wall. Why is there a hula hoop on the wall? Did the Hawk setters like hula hoop all the time, or? Ew, oh my god, we have to go on a bath. Ew, that's so gross.
Come on out, you guys. I'm telling you, they're not down here.
I'm tired, I die. Actually, this is actually, I think, one of the best scenes in the movie. One of the most creepiest scenes in the movie. Where they're creeping around the basement and all that stuff. And, you know, you get a little bit of tension and just a little bit of scary moviness, you know what I mean? Like, you don't get a lot of that off the bat. So, I mean, other than the stupid red herring they try to throw at you.
Not here. Let's go.
But, for stock footage, I like how the set director or set designer or whatever is like, how do we make this place look like a piece of shit? Oh, let's just throw some boards and some, you know, riffraff in front of the front door. Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, that'll make it look like a shithole. Yeah, sure, that's it. That's a ticket. Oh, that's a classic massacre shot. You know, they do this for slumber party massacres. They do it for sorority house massacres. We have the vulnerable bimbos with the knives, soaking wet, looking hot, seductive, and on, you know, ready, you know, like they're the prey. That's the idea. These sexy wet girls, they're the prey, you know? That's a classic fucking shot there. It's like a Charlie's Angels of bimbos, you know?
Are you too sure you checked all the windows? Kimberly? I'm sorry, I was afraid to go yet.
I swear to God, that one chick's like Australian or something. Or like... Oh, he's knocking, he's trying to be nice. That's the one thing that's different, I think, about these movies compared to the Slumber Party Massacre movies. There's no dudes hanging around, you know, like no boyfriends, no love interests or anything like that. It's just these girls and that's it, you know. So, usually the dudes in these movies are like the victims first and the girls get picked off last. So, yeah, that's something I didn't realize until now. Yeah, these chicks are like always alone. They're always alone, which is an interesting twist to the genre and stuff. All right, hang on, guys. I have to go to the bathroom. We'll be right back. Yeah, I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. Mother Nature called. What are you gonna do? I was just thinking about my buddy Zach over at Revival House sent me these files of all of the Friday the 13th movies with the Joe Bob Briggs like segments edited into them. Oh man, I cannot wait to watch those. It's gonna be so much fucking fun, man. I mean, it's gonna be a flashback to the past. I mean, how often do you get to see that anymore? Super fucking awesome, man. I just want to say thank you so much for doing that for me, because I'm gonna enjoy the shit out of that. I probably won't even get around to it till after Halloween, but I'll definitely watch them at some point. But anyway, where are we at in the movie? Let's see. Oh yeah, so the funny thing about this guy, what's his name? Hang on a minute. I'm drawing a blank on his name. That fucking guy, the guy in the plaid shirt, the Spinelli lookalike, he like gets murdered like 10 times in this movie. He's like a cat with 9 fucking lives, man. He keeps coming back. It's like a recurring joke in this movie. Something Church is his last name. It's so funny because he just keeps getting fucking murdered over and over and over again. And he just keeps coming back. It's fucking great. Ask yourself a question. If you were a filmmaker, would you be proud of this movie as your first film? You know? Are there things that you would do different? I would probably do some things different. I would probably be proud of it in a sense that it's fun and it made people laugh, but I would always know I could do better. But I mean, are you entertained? That's the main thing. And I'm entertained watching this movie. Now, you know, here's a fucking discrepancy. Like, so supposedly our red herring here, this guy, Church, was chasing the girl up the stairs. She went into the bathroom to hide. The killer went through the door with the hook. So he's busting into the door. Well, obviously we saw him chasing her up the Church, chasing her up the stairs. And then the killer was busting in the door. So that means that Church would have had to ignore the killer busting in the door to kill the girl hiding in the bathroom, to go up to the attic to pursue our Australian-speaking chick here, right? And of course here she stabs him multiple times. But the killer, the real killer, is still down in the bathroom murdering the other girl, right? So he must have just ignored the killer on his way up. Or he's like severely retarded and didn't understand what was going on. But this chick's got some fight in her, so she fucking stabs him like 4 times. You know? And, you know, right in the fucking torso too, man. That's like, you know, you're dying. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much game over. So he dies, right? That's death number 1. And believe me, there's a lot more to come. There's a lot more to come. So she goes all fucking Jabba the Hutt, Princess Leia Jabba the Hutt on his ass. Right? Strangles his ass. Fucking great death, right? And that should have been it. Right there. That should have been the death. But no. They want to continue the this is like our ongoing joke through the whole fucking movie, man. Ongoing joke through the whole movie. I do like the fact that there's one chick in this group that's a fucking badass who can hold her own, you know? she can actually act a little bit. A little bit. And when I say a little bit, I'm literally holding up my fingers. And they're between, if you look at your fingers and you want to say a little bit, you hold your thumb and your forefinger up a little bit. And I'm just squeezing it down to the very little microcosm where you can see a little bit of light between the skin of your thumb and the skin of your forefinger. And you can see just a little bit of light between it. That's how much she can act in this movie. She actually can act a little. Good day, mate. Aye, mates. This is a weird scene. This scene makes no fucking sense, okay? Obviously a gory scene. And, she inches her way to the bathtub. Alright, we're building some suspense. You know what's gonna happen. Yeah. And her friend busts out of the fucking tub under the bloody water, strangles her, then just obviously, I don't know, dies maybe or something. And her friend just says, okay, so her friend's attacked. This is this guy's death number 3. Alright, so she, I guess, drowns him in the toilet. Well, she says fuck it to her friend. When do you go back to the tub, grab your friend, try to save her, drag her out of the bathtub, whatever? No, she said fuck her friend. Fuck her. Let her die in that bathtub of blood, while I saunter out of here. Not my problem. I always thought that was weird. Wouldn't you at least go back to check? Grab her hand, pull her head out of the water, smack her in the face, give her CPR, anything at all? No. Nothing. Oh, this movie is a real piece of work. I don't think I'm going to make it through this movie if I don't have another beer, man. One more beer. One more. Back in the day when they had the old rotary phones, man. If you don't have a rotary phone or haven't ever used a rotary phone, Google that shit. He's not here. He's not here. He's not. We should say it's like. She sounds like fucking. What's his name? The British guy. He's not here, governor. Oh, hey, well, he's not here. He's not here, governor. Please, sir, may I have another? I can't do a fucking British accent well. Let's see. Hello, governor. Please, sir, may I have another? That's the best. That's the best I can fucking do. Sorry. Oh man, she sucks. She sucks. Can't you learn an American accent at all? Hello, governor. Pip pip cheerio. Somehow she made her way back down to the basement where the final confrontation is gonna happen.
Don't be afraid, Jessica. Safe now.
Yeah, she sounds as much like an American as fucking Russell Brand does.
I got him.
Oh, Gordon.
I won't catch him. I had to kill him.
So I can't tell if she's like, I swear to God, I keep going back and forth. As much as I've watched this movie, which is a lot, I can't tell if it's like British or Australian. I'm going to finger you with my ice clamp. With my ice pick. I'm going to finger you with my ice pick. You're going to love it. I'm going to tickle your taint with my ice clamp. It feels really good. It feels really, really good. I'm going to tickle your taint.
Oh my God.
I have such sights to show you. So basically what's going on is a possession. And, you know, there never was a killer. There was just a possession in the house. Somehow they released the spirit in the house with a Ouija board. So it's just the girlfriends that have been killing each other off the whole time, you know. But these fight scenes are a little bit fun, you know. They're just scantily clad chicks beating the shit out of each other. Why is she wearing like ballet slippers? Oh my God, my telly bombs right now. Oh. Yeah, so she... I'm trying to remember how this happens, like... I guess the spirit gets passed around or something, and... Sorry, this is a little bit of a lull in the movie because it's a boring part of the movie and nothing happens. They basically just build suspense for like, 5 or 10 minutes and nothing really happens. And I think the cops show up or something, or... You slashed my titties. You slashed my titties. I never thought the hook was a good, murder weapon. You know, if you're gonna get a murder weapon, go with an axe. Or, not even a chainsaw, but, a machete or something that, you can do a lot of damage with fast, Like, a hook is just, one of those things where, you're just gonna poke a hole. You're not gonna really do maximum damage quickly, Oh, he's back! This guy has more lives than fucking Jason Voorhees, man. He's fucking... I would love to see a fucking offshoot. A fucking... what do you call it? I would love to see a fucking spin-off of this guy, He just keeps coming back from the fucking dead. I can't let you do it again, Clyde. He's probably actually the best actor in this movie, man, if I think about it. Look at this guy. Oh, he's fucking awesome. He's a hero of this movie. Death number 5 at this point, I think. I love this shot where she gets her right in the fucking, right up the fucking jaw. Through her jugular into, oh, yeah, the blood sprays. Real nice. That's some good shit right there. Yeah, so the music score sounds like some broke dick fucking Nightmare on Elm Street shit, right? So we think it's over. And the cops, the limp dick cops who don't do shit in this fucking movie, who have no importance here at all, whose investigation doesn't mean shit, and other prior scenes don't mean shit, show up at the house after everybody's fucking dead and are fucking useless. They're just here to wrap up the end of the movie. Basically, what's going on here is we're going to be left on a cliffhanger. You'll see real soon. The Stole Tipple Pilots bass player here is going to be forced into a situation I actually do kind of like this ending in a weird way. Because it's a little unconventional. It's not sterile, you know? It's like... I love this laugh. I love that laugh. It's so fucking good. Oh, he's awake again! Alright, well, time for death number, 7? He blows her away. And the cops, of course, blow him away. Skadoosh! 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 I swear to God that Rasputin fucking portrait has some significance in this movie. Yet, I haven't figured out what it is yet.
Get an ambulance.
He's still alive.
This man is still alive.
Bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam. So they should have like a fucking side story about this fucking guy who is apparently superhuman, can't fucking die. It'd be fucking great. So come on, you have to admit this movie is fucking entertaining as hell. It's fun. If you're hanging out with a couple of your friends with a couple of bottle of booze and a 24 pack of beer and some weed, and that's it. That's all you need. That's a formula for a fucking good time, man. This movie is so much fun. You know, you get the titties, you get the fucking the pussies, the ass, you get the fucking kills, a little bit of gore, a little bit of blood. You don't have to think too hard. There's no plot really to it. Orville Ketchum. What did I say? Church? Well, alright, I fucked that up. You got me there, but Orville Ketchum. See, this is, I think, is actually the director here doing this little scene. This little post-credit scene is the director. Yeah, accept my apology. Ketchum, Church. My bad. Orville Ketchum's a great fucking name, man. Wish I had been born with Orville Ketchum and not Josh James. I mean, shit. Talk about a name with some fucking character to it. Alright, there you go. There's a Sorority House Massacre 2. I hope you enjoyed this commentary. I was pretty inebriated and I had a good time. No apologies. Hope you had a good time too. We'll do it again real soon. Maybe we'll do... I would like to do Cheerleader Massacre, which is something I've been eyeballing for a while. So maybe we'll do that next. Who knows? I'll throw it in my Massacre pack, you know, when I get around to it. So thanks a lot for hanging out. If you enjoy this, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, good or bad, like or dislike, and as always, stay awesome and stay R-rated. Cheers.